Church of Raleigh. We're going to sing our congregational song.
So let's stand.
And this is about letting it go.
Let it go.
I release and I let go. I let spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. By faith I see the light. I am free.
am free in the spirit. Let's sit down right now and stay in that consciousness of being in this spirit. Take a breath in with me. And just relax and let that breath breathe it out. Breathe it out into this sacred space. And we open up and we let go of all of the activity, all of the things that already happened this morning, so that we are here present in this present moment with an open mind, with an open heart. And just feel that light and energy moving inside of you right now. The light of God, the love of God. And feel this light, this wisdom, guidance, strength, and the love, that compassion, empathy, healing, uniting energy. Feel it moving out now into this sacred space, lifting everyone up, physically that are here or virtually that are joining. And let this light and love move out into our community, into our country, into our world, with a light of wisdom and the healing energy of love for all beings, especially those that are in pain and suffering right now, that are facing challenges and situations that may feel overwhelming. For healing all of the sense of anger and separation that is just prevalent everywhere. And bringing all of our world leaders into this energy of light, of wisdom, and the love that is our true nature. And we also bring at this time our planet Earth into this same energy of light and love, knowing that this is the healing, rejuvenating, restoring energy. And for this we say, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. Well, good morning, everyone. It's really good to see you today. What a beautiful day, isn't it? Such a gorgeous day. I have the gift. I'm going to call it the gift. I have the gift of going out for a walk every single morning because I have Molly in my life. She's my dog, right? So there may be times when I might have gotten up and said, I don't know if I'm really in the mood for this big walk, but because she's always ready and always she knows our routine. So I just do it. We get up, we go out, and once I'm out, it's always so wonderful. And one of the things that came to my mind today, while I was looking at and reviewing the talk for today about letting go, so I was already in that space of surrender and the idea of letting go. And then I was walking along, and it just dawned on me how this whole season ties into that idea. We're at a place right now where the season's changing. And isn't letting go to kind of help us through a period of change usually? And even what's happening with the leaves, we know it's coming, the color, the whole beauty of nature with change. And it just is, to me, just ties in so beautifully with an example of how life follows. We sometimes get so caught up in our head that we don't even realize that we are just like everything else in nature. And I'm thinking about change because I also want to thank everybody that was here last Sunday for our team meeting. We had a great turnout, and that's what we were talking about, right? We were talking about change. And I have to say that for me, there was an energy around that was really exciting. And, so many people got to participate and share and talk about, the different ideas that we are going forward because, like everything in life, Our church is facing changes. I know I'm dealing with changes. And that's just, again, ties into the beauty of what we see when we walk through nature. It's not the same, right? Things grow, things die, things change color, you know. And I think that's important for me to remember, is that that is really what life is. And if I get off in another tangent, I'm missing the beauty of the moment. And so it is. So I'm going to say welcome to everybody that has decided to join us today. It's, like we said, a beautiful day, and there's so many places that you could be. So I want to say thank you for choosing to come here and be with us here, whether you're doing that online or you've decided to come here in person. So welcome. And now Nancy is going to read our Thank you. We're starting.
We'll get it going. Yeah, we sure will. Hi, my name is Nancy, and I'm the platform leader today. And I must say first that I'm so grateful that our Congress decided not to have a shutdown. It was a very nice piece of news this morning. Let's set our intention by affirming our statement of faith together, please. There is only one power, one power in the universe and in my life and affairs, God the good. And now it's time for music from the three members of our band today, Peggy on the drums, Susan on the piano, and Greg, our noble leader, on the guitar.
Thank you, Nancy. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you all. Talking about letting it go today, so I'm going to do a little Keb Mo for you here. This is called Hand It Over. If your problems won't go away and you're worried night and day, hand it over, get on your knees and pray. If you're sick, feeling low, got no money, nowhere to go, hand it over, get on your knees and pray. Hand it over,
Hand it over,
hand it over,
hand it over,
give it up,
give it up,
and give it over,
give it over.
hand it over, get on your knees and pray.
Get on your knees and pray.
Ain't no mountain you can't climb, your answer you can't find. All you need is a hand to hold. Heal your body, feed your soul. The road is dark, you can't find your way. Let the Spirit light the way. Hand it over, get on your knees and pray.
Get on your knees and pray.
Get on your knees and pray.
That was great. Hand it over, let it go. Okay, and that's our theme. So, our title for today is What Does Surrender Mean to You? What does surrender mean to you? Now, I know that most of us, being on a spiritual journey, know that letting go, surrendering, is a necessary component for spiritual growth, right? So I just want to invite you, though, to think for a second, what does it actually mean to you? How do you do surrender when you're navigating the challenges and perhaps the very difficult times that you face in life? How do you do surrender when you're having a situation in a relationship that is causing you to feel hurt, not understood, angry perhaps? How do you surrender? So, what if we were to talk about surrendering as letting go of our personal judgments and expectations for how a situation is going to turn out? What if we were going to talk about surrendering as not feeling the need to be in control of a situation? Did that fit in with where you were going with your idea of surrender? Because that's really where we're going to go today. We're going to look at how do I let go of my pain? That's what surrendering is, right? Surrendering is releasing the pain so that I can be in this present moment. We talked about that in the welcome where I said, walking along today with Molly, I was aware of how beautiful the day was. Now, I started out my walk with being a little bit distracted. I didn't step out. Sometimes I try to do this as an exercise, to step out and make a decision and an intention to walk mindfully. But because I had been talking or thinking about the talk and everything that I was doing, I went out and it was still in my head. The tape was still running. And so as I'm walking, I'm distracted and I'm missing the beauty of the morning. And, fortunately, something happened, she did something, and she took me out of my head and connected me back to the moment. And so I was able to stay there. But this is the journey that we're talking about. How do we surrender? How do we let go of all of that inside stuff? Because that is what we bring to each and every moment, right? So I want you to just do something with me right now. Let's just take a look. Turn your heads to the left. And just look at anything that's going on over here. It's very neutral, isn't it? Let's turn our heads over to the right now and just take a look. That's a moment, and it's completely neutral. We bring to every moment what's coming up for us. And so the reason that we started last week we're working with Michael Singer's book, Living Untethered. And untethered is really released from everything that's holding us rooted in that pain and suffering that I mentioned. So what we started with was who is doing the looking, right? And that's so important because in order for us to move along, to understand how we respond to outside situations, what we do with all the thoughts and the story and the emotional upheavals that tend to sometimes come up. We have to be able to understand that we are the witness. We're not the situation. So just here's what we were talking about last week, that there is nothing more important to true growth than realizing that you are not the voice of the mind, you are the one who hears it. So today what we're going to talk about with surrender is really focusing on the outside world. We're going to move along on this journey, and we'll go into thoughts, and we'll go to emotions, and we'll go to other things as we progress. But we're just going to move along at a nice pace so that we really get to absorb what this process of exactly this, knowing that you're not the voice that is in your head, and that you're able to do all of these things that life has to offer. Because what happens is the voice in our heads often is a negative voice. This is just kind of how we're designed. It's often a negative voice, right? Why did they say that about me? Don't they know me better than that? I can't do that. All of those things that get tied to what we're bringing, and we talked about this last week, what we're bringing into the emotion. So now, if we can step back and start to just say that I am the witness, and what we're talking about with that is that allows us to open up to our true self. That's why we're doing it. We're not simply doing all of these things to feel joyful, free, happy. Now, that will be the manifestation. That will be the outcome. But we're doing it because our soul is calling for us to know and experience our true self. And the result then is what I just said, the happiness, the freedom, the joy. So in looking at this particular situation, one of the things that Michael Singer emphasizes is that, let's bring it up here. One of the most amazing things you will ever realize is that the moment in front of you is not bothering you. You are bothering yourself about the moment in front of you. Okay? So the moment is neutral. We just did that exercise. The moment is neutral. What we do is we bring all of everything that has been coming up. We bring our belief system. We bring our culture. We bring our experiences from childhood, and actually even going back further than that, to be honest with you, because we're influenced by our parents who were influenced by what they experienced. All of this is what he's talking about, that we bring all of this to the present moment. And so the letting go process that a surrendering process that Michael Singer is inviting us to do is to just recognize this so that we can then become the observer. So that if I'm now in a situation, and I'll give you a personal example. This week has been kind of a wild one for me. Like I said before, we had a great team meeting, and we've got some wonderful changes that are going on here in the church, and I've stepped into taking on some of these things. And so I'm in meetings, I'm talking to people, I'm having to do some extra stuff that I wasn't, typically doing before, and work that into my time. And then I had other things in life, like I had to go to the dentist, not once but twice this week. So, just all the things that happen. And because I'm also still in this process of grieving, I had this one day morning where I just had this meltdown. And when I have an emotional upheaval like that, I don't know about you, but when it passes through, I'm tired. I just want to go to bed. And so instead I said, well, I better read this chapter if this is what we're talking about. I've got to start getting my head here. And the reason I'm saying all of this is that those are the things that I bring to every moment. If I was just neutral, my day would have been fine. But I had all of this stuff that comes up. So what we're trying to do here is to know how to let all of that just flow through us. That how everything is energy. How does this all flow through us and not get stuck? Not get stuck and build on that energy of sadness, build on that energy of overwhelmed, build on that energy of all of those things that I was experiencing during this week. How do I let this energy just flow through me? And that's the journey that we're going to be exploring. So one of the things that I want to talk about is the outside world. And again, going back to how it's neutral. Michael Singer goes into a lot of detail in how the creation began. And he does this, as interesting as it is, he does it to help demonstrate the evolution of consciousness, the evolution of our understanding. You know, science and, I'll just say science and religion, because I think spirituality is a little different. Science and religion have often been at odds, right? Over when does the soul come in? We had Darwin with the evolution, the physical evolution, and that was causing a lot of consternation and discussion and actually a court case. So with that in mind, when we think about creation, the whole thing started with the Big Bang. 13.8 billion years ago. And when it happened like this, everything was just, there was so much energy, but it was only contained in something smaller than an atom. And eventually this expanded out, and we started to have all this gas that was there, these gas situations that it was dark. It was only darkness. Little by little, as the gas dissipated, light was able to show through. And then we started to have the whole process of creation, where we got into all of the atoms and all of the things and stars. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you is how similar the Bible is to what science now knows. This is not just a theory. We're able, because of technology, because of the microscopes and everything else, we're able to study what's happening out there in the universe. And we're able to know the process. And so, yet in Genesis 1, it starts with the same story. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And now we know with science, which is, I think, just an interesting correlation. We know with science, it's this creation really is that process. Creation is really that process. So some people may still get caught up in the fact that if we understand how creation is and that it just forms with this energy that expands out, and the stars are actually the furnace that creates all of this expansion, and we have in our body all of the elements, the same fundamental elements that are in the stars. So we are a part, everything is connected. We are a part of this whole creation process. So some might say, well then, where does God fit in? Where does God fit in? And to me, what I have to say is that God is the creator, and the star is the furnace that creates all of this. Because we have an intelligent universe. It can't be any other way. We know this. It just is a beautiful, beautiful experience to watch creation. And I think that's the other part of what is so important if we're really looking at focusing on being mindful and staying in that present moment and not getting lost in our own personal drama, all of the things that we bring to a moment. It should look like this, you know? I was expecting in this moment. You know, it's just not right. Anyone ever get stuck in that moment? You know, this moment isn't working out the way I wanted it. Well, the whole point is that we don't create the moments. The moments are coming. What we create is our reaction to the moments. The moments happen. They happen because of just the evolution in just things evolving and like I said, walking in nature. You know, it's a process. It's a process. Now you might say, but don't we create with our mind? And I would say it's a reaction, it's a cause and effect. It's a cause and effect. We can learn to be conscious about how we approach and show up for something, and that changes everything. That's what we were talking about, opening us up to our true self, opening us up to enjoying the happiness, joyful, and freedom that brings. But if we bring our minds and our story and our drama into the present moment, then we're going to still manifest something, right? But is it a cause or effect? Because that, to me, is what the whole process of creation is. It's cause and effect. So one of the things I wanted to share with you, too, is that in this process of creation, what they are looking at is the early formation of the atom, and that is quantum physics. So quantum physics are exploring how the entire universe is emanating from an omnipresent, undifferentiated field of energy, the quantum field. They are showing us how everything is made of light. That used to be strictly a spiritual concept. They're teaching us how the underlying force of creation created creation. So studying creation actually allows us today to understand. How many of us hear the comments all the time about, quantum physics? It's a very popular topic right now, right? And there are a lot of spiritual leaders that have YouTube presentations and podcasts, and they talk about what do we do with the quantum physics in our neuron pathways, that this can create all the things that we really want to experience in life. Well, the quantum physics began from the very beginning of creation. It is that field of energy. It's that primordial field of energy. And so we're just today catching up and being able to understand all of this. We're first in a place, which is where it gets exciting, because we're really in a place where we can learn how to create the life we want, right? Growing up, were you ever told that you can do whatever you want to do? Some of us might have been. Actually, my father used to say that very thing to me. You can do whatever you want to do, if you just apply yourself. Well, that was a good news and it was a bad news, because with that came that it was never enough. So I was applying and just trying to move into that spot. But I was trying to do it from a willpower place. We've been talking about, last year our theme was in the flow of divine abundance. What I want to talk about with this journey with Michael Singer's Untethered Soul is how to let life flow through us. So it's a whole different concept. This is the process of the letting go, isn't it? It's like releasing. How many of us hold on tightly? This is the control that we approach each and every present moment or each and every situation. I can make it work out, you know? It's gonna work out. I have to, you know, just put my nose to the grindstone and do things. Now, this is exactly what we talked about when I began. What does surrender mean? Does it mean letting go of control? That's a scary idea, right? Letting go of control. Does it mean that you just passively sit there and do nothing? That's not what I mean. What it's saying is that I am open to the situation. So letting go is really 2 steps. The first step is to release our personal judgments about what the present moment is bringing. Release our need to control things. This is what I want to happen. This is how it has to happen. I need this person to love me. I need this job. This is the job that's going to solve all my problems. I have to have this job. What if instead we simply were open to taking the action? Now, this isn't passive. This isn't passive, but it's saying with each situation, this is the second step. With each situation, what it's saying is, what is this situation here going to afford me to learn and to grow? How would I deal with this situation if I was not bringing my own personal judgment to it? Because what happens if we can just be open, not to say it has to look a certain way, not to be reactive to the situation, but instead just be open to it. It's here. Here is the situation. Here is the situation. What am I open to learning from this situation? What would my reaction be if I'm not guarded, if I'm not fighting it, if I'm not resisting it? You see the difference? Can you feel the difference? What would I bring then to that situation? Because if we can do that, what we're doing is we are loosening our grip on the small self, the ego, the personal part of us that is always trying to protect us, you know. Oh, you better not do that. That's pretty dangerous to do that, to just let yourself figure out what to do. And instead, we're opening to that true self, because that's what this is all about. That's the whole journey here, is to open to transformation. Open to the true self. If we can do that in this process of allowing the present moment to just be there without our holding on so tight, letting go, just let it flow through me, then I am open to the activity of my true self. And that is where that is this here. The entire universe is coming from the omnipresent, undifferentiated field of energy. This is where we tap into that creative God essence, the Christ consciousness. You know, we did an exercise from the first series at the class that we're doing on Wednesday, where we take a deeper dive in this. And one of the exercises was, you know, who am I? To let us know that when I release what I come in here thinking about myself, that I'm able then to be this expression of the Christ. And we said, what do you want to call this true self? Consciousness, the Christ consciousness, higher self. This is within us. We are an expression of this. Remember, I was talking about how everything in nature, all is this expression of creation, and we are too. And we block the beauty of it. We block our own ability to do wonderful things. You know, one of the things that Charles Fillmore talked about was the powers. And this month is the power of zeal, right? This month is the power of zeal. Well, if I'm stuck in just being sad, and again, I'll go back to my week and my personal story. So I did have emotions that came up, and I found myself crying. And like I said before, once I have these big emotions, then I feel like I need my nap. But I didn't fight it, because this is the process that we're going to be exploring and working with. I didn't fight it. I was very aware and very mindful of it. I also let it go. So I have somebody that's a safe person to speak to. I called them. I just let it out. This is important. There's a lot of steps to this process. I just let it out. And that started the whole process. Let the energy flow out through you. That's what it means when it says life can flow through you. Let the energy flow out. As soon as I can start to do that, how many of us have had that experience where you've got something that's troubling you? It could be anything, anything. And you talk about it with somebody who's a good listener, who's going to support you. And as soon as you finish talking about it, you feel a lot better. Right? You've released the energy and then become mindful of exactly what he's talking about. I am not this person. That was an experience. That was an emotion of sadness and overwhelmed or anything like that. I am the true self. I am this witness of this emotion. I can be neutral. I can be okay. I have everything within me that I need. That opens the zeal then to come up. Because we are not opening all of those gifts of our true self when we're stuck in the pain, when we're stuck in the fear, when we're stuck in the anger, when we're stuck in the ego. And that's what we're doing with this journey. We're understanding that if we just looked at creation and we looked at the present moment, we would be in awe because it's so absolutely beautiful. These are gifts that we've got going on all the time. The gift, and I know that a lot of you do take walks and everything else, and if you sit out in nature, right, and you hear the birds, I love listening to the birds. And we have very loud birds in my neighborhood. Maybe because I also leave the door open so Molly can enjoy her porch and going out in her yard. So I'm in the morning very aware of these big verbal birds. And it's just so nice to hear the birds, to look around and see the colors of nature, to feel this cool air as I was taking the walk. But how many of us, like I said, I started out my walk lost in my thoughts. I may not have been hearing the birds. I may not have been feeling the air. I wasn't present to the present moment. And mindfulness is the I don't want to say technique because it's more than a technique. It is a practice. Mindfulness is a practice, and we are not mindful if we're bringing all of the stuff with us. Mindfulness, that's why we had to start with who am I? We have to remember I'm not all of this other stuff. The other stuff comes up because I'm human and divine, so it's there, it's present, but I can practice noticing what I'm bringing to the moment, allowing myself to feel it, let it flow through me, and then open up to the truth of who I really am, and allow myself to connect with nature, connect with that true self, and open to all that is available for me to walk through life. Last quote. the more you are willing to just let the world be something you are aware of, the more it will let you be who you are, the awareness, the self, the Atman, the soul. And so it is. Amen. So let's take these ideas into meditation now. So close your eyes and just relax and take a deep breath in. And I invite you right now to bring to mind anything that you want to release, that you want to surrender. If there's a challenge in your life, if there's a relationship challenge, job, whatever it is, finance, whatever is your concern, let that come up right now. And as you connect with this thought, just breathe in and breathe out. Just be aware of whatever emotion is coming up, knowing that you can let it go, that you can just let this emotion go. You don't have to control it. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to change it. You can just be aware that this is what is happening right now. And breathe out. Let that energy just go. Letting life flow through you. I am awake. I am aware. And I bring my mindful attention to the present moment, releasing any need to control, any personal judgment and evaluation that I'm placing on this moment. I start to become aware that I am doing this. And it's simply the awareness that allows me to let go. And I relax now. And I open to my true self, my Christ consciousness. And I let that guidance, that inspiration, that energy lift me. Lift me to being grateful, accepting of everything that's happening right here and right now in my life. Everything. Grateful and appreciative of everything. And let's just hold those ideas in the silence and let them take root. Thank you, God. Thank you for the gift of this present moment. Thank you for knowing knowing you. Thank you for opening my mind and heart to the activity of God within. And so it is. Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
And now let's bring up our ushers. This is the time where we get to practice our giving and receiving. And I want to ask anyone here who has their donation in their hand, we can just hold it up so we can bless it. We do have a 3G program, which means that you can sign up and have your donations automatically deducted. You save you the problem of remembering your money. Those of you that are watching us today, you can participate too. You can press our donate button, or you can simply mail a check to Unity. And so let's do our affirmation now. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, and all that I give and receive.
And now the Disney princess. Let it go. Snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks
Malcolm.
like I'm queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I've tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go.
Thank you, Susan. That was great. It reminded me, as soon as she started singing this song, it reminded me when I was working with teenagers, and that song, that movie and the song came out, and these girls were just singing this all the time. It was like so popular. And just another lesson. Like I said, that triggered a memory. And then I said to myself, thank you for the memory, and brought myself back to the present moment of Susan's beautiful rendition. And that's the practicing of mindfulness. So let's bring our love offerings up so we can bless them. Let's do that. Just join me by closing your eyes, and let's just know that we are in the flow of divine abundance, and we are so very grateful. We are grateful for all the gifts that are flowing so freely here to Unity Church of Raleigh, all of the energy of divine ideas, the energy of love and support, the energy of finances. All of it is coming and flowing so freely, and for this we say thank you, God, and so it is. All right, so we have something special happening today. Before we come to the end of our service, I want to invite Sharon to come down. As you, those of you who were may know or were present at last Sunday's team meeting, we had announced that Sharon is stepping down from many of her volunteer positions. Now we know, come on up, Sharon. Come on up here. We know what a big presence Sharon is here in our church, right? I would be here for a long time trying to list all of the things that she does and is involved with, but right away, just look around. We did our present moment. Look around. Thank you, Sharon and Lynn, for just all of the construction, all of the space that we're in. Sharon does all of our live streaming. I mean, I had a list. When Sharon told me she was leaving, when I caught my breath, I looked at the list. And, you know, from the grounds outside to everything that happens in here, especially the technology. Yes, she gets help, but she has the commitment and the responsibility, and she makes it happen. And so we really wanted to just bring you up here today to bless you, to thank you, to appreciate you, and to give you a gift. What we've done is that is a I love you box. And what we put in there were just affirmations, things that we love and appreciate about Sharon. Sharon is, as she was stepping back from everything, and this is personal stuff that she needs to be involved with. She did share with me on Friday that she is staying on to do our website. So I thank you for that. So she still has a toe in the water, folks. She still has a toe in the water. We have a few more coming, a few more love notes. All right, so thank you, Sharon, for your years of service. And now Nancy is going to tell us what's happening.
Never a dull moment. First and foremost, who has a birthday in October? There we go, Mary. Okay, let's sing happy birthday. And thank you. All right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, October babies. Happy birthday to you.
And many more. We have a birthday cheesecake today. So it's still birthday cake as far as I'm concerned, and cheesecake's pretty special. So it'll be a little different, but come back and be sure and have some cake and coffee. If you want to feel more joy and happiness and deeper meaning in your life, consider joining Ellen's new book club on Zoom. This is on Wednesday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. The book is on Untethered, Living Untethered. This is Michael Singer's book, and it's pretty powerful work, so I hope you'll consider doing that. It's a love offering. And are you ready for a party? All tricks and no treats, all treats and no tricks. The UCR's Halloween Chili Cook-Off fundraiser, Saturday, October the 28th, from 5 to 7. Join us for homemade cooking, chili, and all the fixings, and they will be great. Everybody will have an opportunity to vote on which is the best one. $1 raffle for great prizes, karaoke, and Greg has agreed to do DJ and spin some music for us. Tickets are $20, and they're less for children. And they go on sale after the service. Costumes are optional, but I hope you'll consider wearing a costume. We don't get to do that very often. And we do need some volunteers to help us with this, so there's some sign up back there for various duties and things we'd like some help with, so I hope you'll look back in the desk and sign up. And visit unitychurchofraleigh.com for details for any of the activities. And our sister program, Unity Holistic Wellness Center, next Saturday, this sounds like an interesting workshop. Dr. Tom Goddard is doing a workshop on mindfulness-based stress reduction, a gift. And that fits in with what Ellen's talking about today with letting it go. It's from 10 a.m. till noon. Fees, registration, and activities are on the holisticwellnesscenter.org. And after the final prayer, we'll be having our healing circle, so stay connected and stay in the circle so we can pray together. And then we'll move our chairs over to the tables, so we have a place to sit and enjoy our follow-up. So I hope you'll stay for that. And Melanie, did you have something you? Oh, it said you were going. It has your name on it. You closing out the service, and I thought, I don't know why. I believe Ellen is here today. Okay, Ellen.
And we're ready for our prayer protection. Let's do that. The light of God surrounds us.
Light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
Love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us.
The power of God protects us.
And the presence of God watches over us.
The presence of God watches over us.
Wherever we are, God is.
Wherever we are, God is.
And all is well.
And all is well.
And now let's stand and sing our peace song.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And today, as you go out from here, keep your mindfulness on this present moment without judgment, without expectations, without needing to control. Just be present and let whatever comes up within you just flow through you. That is letting go, and so it is. Amen. Okay, so let us join in our circle now. And we have this prayer circle that we do each Sunday because we are a movement that began in prayer. And let's see, we do have some of our chaplains. Peggy, would you take the box and bring it into our circle here? Thank you. So Unity was founded as a prayer ministry, and we here at Unity Church of Raleigh have a powerful prayer ministry. And we have chaplains that are here today ready to pray with you. I see Melanie and Reverend Annie, they're wearing their stoles. That's how we can find them. So if you have anything that is moving in you that you want help to let go, to release, see either one of these two prayer chaplains, and they will help you find the divine idea behind the challenge. And we have prayers that Peggy has in our box. These are prayers that come to us. So if you have any prayer requests, and especially those that are joining us virtually, you can send them in, email them directly to the church. Melanie does an absolutely beautiful prayer, and then our prayer team holds that prayer consciousness, and then it goes on to Silent Unity for another 30 days of constant prayer. And we know how powerful prayer is. We know that prayer changes us. That is the power of prayer. And so today, let us just open to this power of prayer. Breathing in and breathing out, letting go of any of the activity of our mind so that we find ourselves right here in this present moment with an open mind and an open heart. And we open up to the power of life. This is a power that rejuvenates, restores, renews. And for anybody who's challenged with any kind of health situation, we know and affirm that wholeness of mind, body, and spirit is always present, and that the perfect and divine outcoming is already happening. And this is for anything that we want to put into this prayer circle right now, any life situation or challenge, any person, anything that we want to be held in this consciousness that God is all there is, that when we turn our attention to God, our problems fall away. When we turn our attention to God without begging, without beseeching, just opening to that power, opening to the presence of love, opening to the presence of God in each moment, our problems fall away. And in this sacred space now, let us put in the name of the person or the situation that we want to be held in prayer today. Bob, Ellen, Becky. And so it is, amen. Okay, so we're going to move our chairs to the tables so we can sit down and have the birthday cake.